This is Jacob, a 20-year-old entrepreneur who built an e-com store to over 100k per month before most people even finish university. But now he's making a massive pivot. Why? Because the e-com has tiny profit margins. He's just signed his first client in his brand new AI-powered business and he wants to scale it up quickly. And today I'm helping Jacob build the foundations for a business that spits out free cash flow.
What we're working on here today is not e-com. He actually transitioned over to a model that we run, which is a service-based, leveraging AI in a growth partner model where we charge a fee and a revenue share and really help scale up businesses. You're going to see someone go from where they are now, just closed their first client, up until whatever his goals are, but he is a young, very ambitious guy, so I can see the goals being pretty big. So can you kick us off, Jacob?
I'm Jacob. I founded my first company in October 2022 when I was only 18 years old. At the back end of last year, I had a big shift. The margins just weren't there. My end goal is to have a business which I scale up and exit, and my e-com business wasn't something that could do that for me. I started with, like I said, absolutely zero experience, just signed my first client, so very, very happy with that. And I can't thank Jordan and the team enough.
What you're seeing here is a total reset. It's not a pivot out of failure, but a pivot into something with real leverage.
How many clients do you need to make the same amount of profits you can actually take out of the business?
I would say if we carry on at the rate we're going, it'll only be, I would say, 6 to 7 clients.
To get the same MRR or the same profits?
Same profits.
Same profits.
Same profits, yeah. We're doing about 20 to 25, sometimes 30k profit each month. Yeah.
Okay.
The end goal for this year, I've got for the AI agency to be 25k MRR that I can take out clean.
Yeah, 25k profit, yeah?
Yeah.
When someone says their goal is 25k in clean profit, what they are really saying is I want control of my time, my income, and I want to buy back my life. And I know this feeling firsthand because I used to work 60, 70, 80-hour weeks in my corporate job until I discovered how to make money using these systems. And now I'm on a mission to help others do the same.
You want to achieve financial goals so you can live a good life. What else is on the radar?
So the aim as well is to build a better understanding of actually what it takes to run a proper successful business. Obviously the e-com business is a proper business, but the type of business where you're constantly speaking to people, you're trying to sell an actual service, is one of the main goals to get a lot better at selling.
So like biz owner / become a better entrepreneur?
Yes.
Okay. What in the personal life? Like how does this tie in? Like how do you want to be living?
So I'd definitely say a relocation would be on the cards. Maybe not this year, potentially next year, depending on if that goal is achieved. But I would say relocation to somewhere like Dubai.
So you want to kind of double where you are now in terms of profitability within the next 12 months and keep this on autopilot?
Yes, I want to scale the e-com to about 2 million this year.
Okay, so double that as well.
Yeah.
So by the end of the year, we're looking at overall like a net profit of say 75k per month. Okay, let's get into our priorities then. What's working, what's not?
So I think what's working right now is I've got some very good foundations built. I understand the basic when it comes to actually reaching out to people.
Yeah.
I think my biggest setback is at the minute is objections, knowing how to handle objections.
Okay.
When it comes to presenting myself in a certain way, I'm very, very confident.
Yeah.
But then when the objection comes, that's when the confidence doesn't go out the window.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a bit like, oh shit.
This is something a lot of people get wrong. Objections are not the enemy. Most people take this personally and it trips them up because they get in a defensive mode where it's actually a request for clarity from your buyer. So if you give them that, the likelihood is that they'll buy.
Okay, so this is where we are now. If you fix this problem, like what does that mean for the business?
Creating more, helping us get closer to that end goal.
How much more do you think you'd close?
A good 20% more.
Okay.
I would say sometimes I'm my own worst enemy.
Yeah. In
the sense of I understand the bottleneck is there, but it's also that fear of rejection.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing. Sometimes I give myself a kick up the arse, but sometimes it only lasts a couple of weeks, a couple of months, and then I fall back into the same trap.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Like a level of like inconsistency.
Yeah, 100%.
Every founder seems to have this slump in the cycle, and it's not motivation, it's about mechanics, right? So if your day depends on how you feel, your business is too fragile. So what's the fix of this? The fix is systems that outperform your bad days. So you don't need to rise to the level of your ambition every single day. You actually fall to your defaults. And this is what you see with fighters, right? They say you don't fall to your best, you actually fall to the level of your training. And that's the same in business with systems.
I would say surrounding myself as well with people within the same network and with the same goals, because I think you're definitely a product of your environment. That relocation for me, I think, will be massive. Talking to people in the position where I want to be, but also not just taking everything they have and just providing them some value as well.
Yeah.
I would say a priority is to just close more deals.
Yeah.
I think that's a given.
Yeah.
But I think to do that, it goes back to the same thing at the top there. Get better at sales, get more clients in, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to close if I'm not bringing the clients in. So
Yeah.
I think just master the client acquisition.
And how many sales calls are you booking per week?
I would say most of the discoveries I transition. So
Okay.
I would say two to three as well at the minute.
And why aren't you booking more calls?
I think I just need to go a little bit harder.
Yeah. What do you mean by harder?
Put a little bit more effort in when it comes to it's automated, it's AI,
Yeah.
right? But when it comes to LinkedIn,
Yeah.
I was a little bit slow.
Okay.
When it comes to outreach.
Most people think that they have a sales problem, but it's wrong. They actually have a volume problem, because what more calls means is more opportunities and more practice to get things right. And this is probably one of the most underpriced cheat code within the game, because you can just increase your probability and likelihood of success by increasing the volume, even if you get better at nothing, which you will because you're actually doing more volume.
What's your current day-to-day look like now?
Wake up, I check over the numbers from the previous day with the e-com business, see how that is. Get straight to outreach. So obviously I'm pitching US clients as well. Outreach LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Get to the gym.
Yeah.
Gym session, sauna, set the mind straight for the day, go home, and then I'm going on to podcasts, discovery calls, sales calls, and then at night time, I'm just trying to wind down, which I struggle to do. So I say that's probably a big thing as well, is being able to unwind.
Okay. How much cash do you have across the businesses?
You mean like in general, like business and personal, or
No,
just
just like business. Like that could be spent. That wouldn't fuck your business if it like went. Like how much cash is there in terms of like cash flow?
about 30k?
Okay.
Cash in the bank can feel good, right? But it can often weigh you down and become a bit of an excuse, because the question can be, oh, well, do I have enough? Where the question should be, what am I going to do with this cash to actually unlock the next level of growth? Because holding cash can feel safe, but it's usually not smart at any chapter in the journey. We need to actually deploy that capital to growing the business. And a lot of people said when we first started, oh, you spend too much cash, you should have higher margins. But now our businesses are 10, 20, 30, 50, even 100 times bigger than theirs, because we invested in the early stage, which give us massive return in the long term.
So there's a couple of things here that we can get into like right away to optimize the day a bit. The part that we need to change is the SDR work. The good news is if we've just launched the AI SDR, what we'll do is we'll implement the AI SDR for you, which will remove this from your day-to-day and buy back time. So if I'm you and I have like this cash, I'd be playing more aggressively. If you scale this, your mindset's going to change here.
Cash flow's never an issue in terms of scraping the barrel when
Yeah.
it comes to money, right?
But you're not taking out or heavily investing.
No.
And I'm like, my business is growing because I'm heavily investing, but I'm also taking some decent cash out. And that's what you want. Because I know you want that, because you want these things. Like that takes money, but also to build a good business, the good team members don't work for you for free.
The thing is, like, my worry with the e-com, right, is obviously as soon as, let's say for example, you make, let's just say 10k to make it easy, right?
Yeah.
Obviously I got a business partner as well. So let's say you both take, let's say 5k out each month.
Yeah.
There's your profit gone, so what you're spending each month will soon start coming down, so your sales will start soon coming down.
Yeah.
That's my only kind of worry with that.
Dig more into your net margins there.
Yeah.
We can support you, but we can also use ChatGPT to like figure it out. but let's get more an understanding of these numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Your focus as a business owner might be skewed based on just not knowing the data enough.
Yeah.
And at scale, it fucks you, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's because you're close to it now, so you're not screwed. Like, you know it because you're looking at the figures every day. But when you stop doing that and you have to give someone else to trust it, you need to make sure that number's fucking right.
Yeah.
Business owners obsess over revenue, but they forget the scoreboard is cash. If you're not tracking the true net profit of what you can actually keep, you're making the wrong decisions based on the data because you're actually in the dark. And when the growth speeds up, that gap can become a cliff that you can fall off, because most businesses don't fail because they're not working hard. They fail because of poor cash flow.
How many how many emails are you sending per day on per week on Instantly?
700.
What's stopping you from Forex and that?
Essentially nothing. Just the implementation. Would you need 4 Instantly accounts? Because obviously, or would you just need more domains?
No, more domains.
More domains, okay. So get more domains.
Get more domains, number one.
Okay.
LinkedIn outreach. Let's test the AI SDR this week.
Okay.
Right? For your Instantly account, because we're going to Forex it. And then you can see the delta between you doing it and them doing it, which is going to buy you back some of your time. Let's have a play around with Clear, because I also think that this is going to be a useful tool for your delivery as well.
Okay.
Because it's going to be very useful for you for lead generation, but it also helps with like research around clients as well. So your clients might like that because it does research for their potential prospects, so you don't have to do the prep and you can provide better service.
Yeah.
So we remove the SDR work with Instantly. You put a bit of additional time into LinkedIn outreach and Clear for now. As soon as we've signed 2 more clients, only thing we need to do is then just put some money into ads. Last 2 things. Where's this fear coming from of kind of the inconsistently? What do you love? What brings your energy up? What brings it down? Then we're going to finish off on sales.
Okay. I think the fear is, I think it's just something that's been with me for my whole life. I think it's something that I'm very quick to identify it's happening and fix it, but it's only a short-term fix. So I try and write down my thoughts in the morning.
Yeah.
Journaling, something I've been quite heavily invested into.
Everything that you're discussing in terms of the challenges is interconnected, which is very interesting. Like, this sales is connected to the fear and inconsistency, which is the rejection, which is this playing to win. Like, this is all coming from the same place, which is super interesting, because it's like it's just one root cause. So there's 2 parts to this which like I practice. One is the more practical side, and the other is the more like woo-woo spiritual, like personal alignment side. And for me, it's pointless being woo if you have no money in the bank, because someone's got to pay the fucking bills, right? The lights go out. But also, if you've got all the money and still feel like shit, it's still shit. I focus way more on the practical side than the woo-woo stuff for most of my life, which has given me things. But then it hits a stage where you're like, man, like, what the fuck is it for anyways? So, like, with you, you're in a transitionary period. Like, you've done big numbers, but you don't have the money to show for it yet. So I think that plays into the narrative where you're playing not to lose rather than playing to win. And this is what I want you to think about every day. Like, think about it, like, you're a football guy. Imagine if a team is going in to play just not to lose. Like, they're not going to win the championship. They're fucking not going to win the cup because they're playing not to lose. The people who win are the people who play to fucking win. Like, you're taking the action, but your mindset is defensive. Your mindset needs to be way more aggressive. Like, I would be thinking like, how can I spend this 5K?
This is the most common mistake that I see in founders that get stuck. They stay in defense mode, where billionaires are in growth mode all the time. They don't spend, they don't scale, and they don't sell, so they don't grow. And it often doesn't mean the opportunity is not there, especially with AI. It's the biggest growing market, but it's because they're haunted by past friction. You need to learn to play to win, and don't be fearful about making mistakes or getting into a bit of pain, because those who can work through that chapter and actually continue to invest even when it feels a bit scary are the ones who are going to grow.
Like, okay, if I have the money, I'm going to invest in growth. If the ads is working, I'm going to put more money into ads. If I'm seeing that LinkedIn works, I'm going to like spam that as hard as I can. So you need to, like, you're finding these points that like, this is working for you. This is working for you. You know how to do ads. So like your problem, the actual problem is you want more cash, right? The only reason why you started this business was because you didn't have enough profits. If you were making 100 extra profits, you would have not started this business. We would have never met. That would have been sad. But that's the reality. So you started this for money. The money is made from sales calls. You know how to get more sales calls, and you're not doing it because you're playing too safe. And I think once you play to win, the sales calls are going to be different. Because you know what I'd say if someone said, oh, I've been invited on loads of podcasts recently. I'd say that's great. Like, immediately I say that's great. If there's a blocker, I say I automatically go towards a positive. Oh, I've tried this before and that doesn't work. Oh, like, that's great, that's interesting. Like, what did you do? So I immediately spin it back to them. And I'm not being like a dick. I'm like, oh, like, that's great that you've tried these things. Like, what happened? What did they do? So for example, our first year, we sold to businesses who had tried what we'd done and it hadn't worked, right? That all of my clients had basically tried to do it before, hadn't worked. So I used what the last people had done and be like, oh, like, what did they do? Oh, they just went straight for this call. Oh, they didn't use education-based marketing. No, I don't even know what that is. Oh, well, that's probably why you didn't get the results. It's not your fault. It's this reason. But if I just stopped at the, oh, this never worked for me, and I get defensive, then I'm never going to break through. Because clients aren't objections, it's questions. So you think you're seeing every question as an objection?
Fear of rejection is just fear of disconnection. But the fastest way to connect with someone is to show them that you're just unfazed. You're curious, confident, and committed to solving their problem. But the real power in sales isn't about saying the right thing. It's about keeping and holding the frame and showing that you can bring as much value to them as they're going to pay you.
You said 20%. I think it's probably close at 50 to 100%. Because the money is made in the Q&A. And you know, like you said, oh, this client really likes me, that's why they brought me on. They probably like enjoyed the pitch and the persona and stuff like that, but they got to know you when they asked you questions. But the problem is when they're asking you questions, you're saying it as a negative, so your physiology changes and you're less open. Where like you want to be like, it's question time. Like, what problems are you seeing? Why wouldn't this work? Like, tell me what's on your mind. Because if they give you their objections, you're like, great, as long as I can bridge this, they're going to buy. They're only putting objections up because they're interested in what you're saying. Like, if I'm not interested, I'll just go off the call. I won't even ask them because I'm not fucking interested. If I'm asking questions, I'm interested. But the problem is, it's the mindset. It's this self-belief. You're not seeing them for that. You're saying, oh, they don't trust me process yet. I don't have it. I don't really know what I'm doing. Then that's what you're thinking on sales call.
People don't buy because you do a perfect sales pitch or create a perfect video like this one. There's a ton of mistakes. They buy because of your presence, right? So when you lean back and relax instead of flinching, and when you ask instead of chasing, that's when the buyer starts to lean back into you. Selling isn't always about having all the answers. It's about providing them with the confidence and certainty that you're the man or the gal for the job.
Tactically, we'll help with your sales calls. We'll review some, we'll analyze some. We do have the sales call analyzer as well, which I'm going to push more on. Like, knowing you and knowing what you're saying because you're following the process and you're getting deals over the line. I think a lot of this is like self-belief, like presented onto them. And I think this guy bought because they buy for two reasons. One, they understand the process and semi-believe in it, and they buy into you. If they do those two things, they will fucking buy. That's it. They need to buy into you, buy into the process. And you've got a process now works to close clients. So you know that works. So the only thing that you need to add is the fucking X factor. It's interesting, bro. At every level, if it's what's within. Like I look back in like content in like 3 years time and be like, I definitely wasn't myself. I could have been like, because you are right, it is reps, but it's reps with intention. But you go to the gym all the time. You've seen people who are at the gym, they're still fat fucks because they're not. Then they go back, eat shit food, no progress because they're not being intentional about it. So like you need like these things, like, and I know what you're like by your thing, by your routine and what you say to me, right? But these things need to annoy you so much you take massive action, because that's where the growth is. Like the people who make the most are normally the people who spend the most and who take the most action. But you just need to switch this. You need to play to win. You need to be like psycho obsessed with like sales calls, getting them in, because like you've evidenced it here, and like this. I don't know how to make ecom profitable. Everyone seems to say it's like not. I actually genuinely don't know ecom very well, but I do know that you can make mad profits here. Like this will be a 70 to 80% net margin, like money you can take out, not like money you have to keep reinvesting, money you can take out business. I don't know if you understand how profitable this business is going to be yet. It's fucking wildly profitable compared to what you used to.
Yeah. Well, no, I can tell already.
Yeah.
I can tell already because before I was weighing up what business to go into. And I was like, I need a business which is going to bring me liquid cash.
Yeah.
I'm working hard. I've worked hard for the past 2-3 years. Obviously, that's nothing compared to some other people. But I've got nothing to show for it. I mean, I've got a few things to show for it. Like I've got a nice car and some other different nice things. I'm able to come like here and places like that, but not properly. Like I've missed out on pretty much my whole adult growing up hood, which people cherish.
Yeah. Yeah, but those people fucking wasted anyway.
Absolutely.
So, like this has been good for you still. Like it's a solid foundation. You're just on to the next level. Yeah. You're just leveling up now, bro.
So as you can see, Jacob's next chapter here, it's not about stacking more tactics. It's about his identity. He already knows how to build, and now he's learning how to really lead. So he's got to shift from this econ operator to a high leverage founder, and it's less about what you're doing, and it's more about who you decide to be.
It's been a stepping stone for you.
100%, because it completely changed me as a person, and it's made me realise, like we were saying earlier, when I was running that business, I was thinking, wow, like I'm actually kind of successful. I'm making a business which does over $1 million a year. And I was like, wow, I'm doing $1 million a year and I'm only 20 years old. And then you're thinking, you're like, this, in terms of business, yeah, to the average Joe down the pub, it sounds amazing.
Great, yeah.
But reality, it's not.
Yeah. Yeah, because someone on a high paying job in London, like our sales rep makes more profit than that by a mile. And they have no pressure as a business owner. Yeah, don't get me wrong, like I think what you've done is the right thing, like to become a business owner. I don't meet many rich people and they don't own a business. Like if you do, oh yeah, I studied finance, and yeah, okay, there's that portion of the market who like go there through investment banking and private equity who do make a lot of money, lawyers, doctors, the corporate lawyers, but apart from that, like there's not many pathways to make a shit ton of money. That's not business. Good?
And anyways, if you want to deploy any of these methods that I've shared today, I put everything together in a free cheat sheet in the description. It's completely free. And also check out this video here where we helped another business owner build a business to over $3 million. Respect. I'll see you in the next one.